Welcome to the 2021 Sports Awards ceremony. Before we begin, let's watch a video representing our 2021 season. After a shortened 2019-2020 year, GCS Athletics was able to get back to a semblance of normalcy this year. Although various COVID restrictions were in place, the schedules were extended, especially for basketball, all regular athletics were offered by the PEI SAA except for track and field. Although track and field was disappointing, we were very grateful that we were able to play all the other sports. We had over 110 athletes filling over 250 positions, participating in 7 different sports teams and 3 individual events. More than 10 coaches and managers volunteered their time to help them develop as athletes, as team members, and ultimately as Christian young people on and off the playing field. Our coaches, managers volunteered more than 1,000 hours of their time this school year with our athletes. We are so thankful for the coaches, managers, and volunteers of our GCS sports program. Also, let us not forget the parents who drove to practices and games in addition to our bus drivers. We know that all of this comes with much personal sacrifice, and we appreciate each and every one of you who dedicated your time and resources to our GCS sports program. We could not do it without you. With all of our teams comes the need for practice space and game space. We are so thankful that we're able to rent space from 4 different facilities. I probably have maybe 5 more years of teaching. I certainly would like to see a home gym before I retire. So, again, I ask this every year, if you have $1 million or so to spend on a new gym, that would come in handy as our sports teams continue to grow. This afternoon, we're going to hear about this year's GCS teams and recognize their accomplishments as we present multiple awards for each team. We are proud of all of your accomplishments, whether you get an award today or not. You are all really winners. You stepped away from the security of your home and you participated. You are no longer just a fan of sport. You are a student athlete. You have dedicated your time and energy to represent your school in a positive way. You have learned important lessons about perseverance, self-sacrifice. In the future, don't be surprised to see God use these lessons to further His kingdom in your life and in the life of others. Students, if your name is called as an award winner this afternoon, please come up to the stage, take your award from the table, and stand in front of the table and pose for a picture. Once your team awards are all announced, you will get up as a group and get a picture, and then you're going to go back to your seat. Please wait, audience. Please wait until after all of the award recipients' names are announced, and then you can clap.
All right, we are going to start with cross country. So, coached this year by Mr. Wood. Our cross country athletes quickly got to work training in September, and we were pleased to have students from the youngest grades all the way up to grade 10 participating this year. Racing on grass or woodland courses that include stretches of gravel paths, fields, and tree roots makes cross country a very challenging sport for all athletes. It is both an individual and a team sport where runners are judged on individual times and teams judged by a point scoring method. Although we were unable to compete in any PEI SAA races, the pre-novice and novice elementary students competed against each other here at GCS. Taking home first place ribbons that day were Ivy and Lawrence in pre-novice and Lily and Sky in novice. Junior high athletes did get the chance to participate at the PEI SAA, and 5 GCS athletes placed in the top 10 in their respective categories. So students that I call out, you can come up and you can get your ribbons in a moment. Nora Kniff in 7th, Desmond Kniff in 7th, Karis Jelly in 7th, Jonathan Baglow in 9th, and Riley Bissett in 10th. Additionally, the intermediate boys team finished 2nd overall provincially in an extremely competitive race. Other awards for cross country, we have 2 elementary awards. They're not here with us right now. The top elementary female runner is Lily Pocket, and the top elementary male runner, Sky Song. And in junior high, top junior high female runner, Karis Jelly, and top junior high male runner, Desmond Kniff. So if all those students can come up and get their certificates, come on up.
They're all there. Ed, get it and stand in front. Just turn around. Stand right in front of the table. Push over. Riley, push over. There you go. Look happy. Can they take their masks off for the picture?
Too close.
Okay, thank you. For the 5th year at GCS, GCS competed in the PEI SAA golf season. We had 5 students participate in the qualifying tournament at Avondale Golf Club, with Desmond posting a top 25 score and GCS intermediate team finishing 8th out of 18 teams. On the intermediate girls side, Beatrice was our lone GCS golfer and posted a great score, finishing 8th overall provincially. The boys' MVP goes to Desmond Kniff, and the girls' MVP goes to Beatrice Galiz. All right, stand in front. Thank you.
Great. Intermediate boys soccer, coached by Mrs. DeBoer and Isaac Bork and myself. After a year off last year, in which the boys played volleyball instead of soccer, the intermediate boys soccer team entered the pitch again. Needing a large number of players to form a team, as is normal with soccer, Beatrice and Lily joined the team, along with Owen coming over from ICS to form a team of 14 players. It was the first team sport of the school year, and the PISAA was very rigid with COVID protocols, so we actually only got to play 2 exhibition games, both of them being 4-0 wins over François Biot, before we went straight to the playoffs. And since we didn't have a soccer team the year before, we were actually seeded in last place overall and had to play the top-seeded Montague team in the first round of the playoffs. And the boys played an incredible game. We scored 2 goals in the first half, gave up a goal early in the second half, and then played incredible defense through the remainder of the game and hung on to win 2-1 and continue in the playoffs. We next faced Queen Charlotte, needing to win to continue our season and be able to go to provincials, and we won 3-0, highlighted by Will's best ever goal celebration as he iced the win with the 3rd goal. And if you saw the game, you would wonder if he even scored by his reaction, but he did. Surrey was up next, and a very close 1-0 victory sent us to the provincial semifinals as the top seed in the East against Kensington. And although we gave up the only goal of the game at the literal last second, the boys held their heads high and prepared for the bronze medal game in a rematch against Surrey. It was a dominating finish for the team as we won 4-0 and captured the bronze medal in convincing fashion. Throughout the year, the team showed fierce determination, excellent teamwork, and a will to succeed. As coaches, we couldn't be more proud of them. Everyone contributed significantly to the team throughout the year, and we wish we could award each player today. Our 3 awards are Most Improved Player, Joshua Gasana, Co-MVP, Jonathan Diagamier, and a Leadership Award and Co-MVP, Desmond Kniff.
Intermediate girls volleyball. After a rebuilding season last year, the intermediate girls came out strong with a win against Francois Biot. Consistent serving from Karis, Clara, Eva, and Emily quickly became the key element to success. After a few close games and some tough losses by only a few points in the last sets, the girls came back to win their first playoffs game against Southern Kings, consolidated. The team concluded their season in morale, with each player having an opportunity to play against one of the strongest teams in the league. The coaches are thankful for the commitment of each player to the team and the eagerness to learn and develop their skills. And our awards go to Top Rookie, Nora Kniff, Most Improved Player, Eva McNeil, and Most Valuable Player, Karis Jelly. Good job, girls.
Senior women's volleyball, coached, as always, by Mr. Rancourt. Also, as always, this is a note from Mr. Rancourt. I was very excited this year to be able to coach this year's senior women's team. Going into the year, I was truly thinking that we would not be having a season due to COVID. It was a very short season this year as the PEISAA tried to figure out how things were going to work with the necessary restrictions. We only got 4 regular season games in, finishing with a 3-1 record before playoffs started. We met up with Montague in the first round of the playoffs and won that game, sending us to the second round and one win away from the provincial tournament. Unfortunately, we ran into a really tough team in Surrey who had not lost, and we struggled through an emotional game as all the tears showed at the end, losing to the eventual provincial champions. The team knows that it was definitely a game that we could have won if we had played to our best, but that's the tough thing about sports. Only one team can win. We learned a lot in that game, though, and I was so proud of the girls for putting their best effort in and their hearts on the line. Thank you to all the grade 12 girls for playing this year, and I'm already looking forward to next year's squad. Earning season all-stars were Brianna Rancourt and Christiane Riverall. Most Improved Player, Christiane Riverall. Leadership Award, Robin Baglow. And MVP, Brianna Rancourt.
Intermediate girls basketball, coached this year by Mr. Pocket and Mrs. McNeil. This year's team featured only grade 8s and 9s, but also 3 grade 6 rookies. The hard work, effort, and determination throughout the season at practice and during the games really paid off. The team was very motivated to learn new skills and made themselves and their teammates better. We played 6 regular season games, losing 2 games by 4 points and 3 points, and winning convincingly in the other 4, finishing the season in 3rd place in the Central Division. The first round of playoffs saw us defeated by a lower-seeded Stone Park by 15 before heading to Montague, the second-seeded team in the East, in the second round. We played our best game of the year, upsetting Montague by 9 points and heading to another showdown against top-seeded Birchwood with a place in the provincial tournament on the line. It was a back-and-forth game, with Birchwood winning in the end by 9, ending our season. We are proud of the girls' accomplishments on the court this year. Most importantly, their attitude towards learning. The girls never complained about playing time and always cheered on their teammates. Each player wanted to see their teammates do the best that they could and were always cheering them on when they were on the bench or in practice. Our awards go to the most improved player, Amatis, we'll pronounce that last name, Leadership Award, Emily Shi, and most valuable player, Beatrice Galiz.
Intermediate boys basketball, coached by Mr. Wood and myself. We weren't sure what to expect this year for the basketball team, especially since we had lost 4 out of our 5 starters from last year. If you know the end of the story, you'll know we didn't have to worry. For the first time in school history, we actually had too many athletes, 20, try out for the team, and we actually had to make team cuts to reach the league maximum roster size of 15. Although the season was delayed by COVID, the players practiced hard throughout November and December and were ready for the start of games in January. Through the next 2 months, the boys dominated the Central Division, going undefeated, including an exciting regular season finale against top-seeded François Biot. And yes, boys, don't forget about that Ethan Euro step that I wish we had on video. We needed to win our first 2 playoff games against East Wiltshire and Surrey to make it to the provincial championships, which we did handily, both by over 30 points. The provincial semifinals saw us play Kensington, ranked 2nd in the West. It was another strong game for us, and we won by 29 to book a place in the provincial championship game against Englewood, who was also undefeated and had dominated every team in the league in the West throughout the season. Our gold medal game was initially canceled by a late March winter storm and rescheduled for a few days later. In the game, we went down early to Englewood, trailing by 18 points until early in the 4th quarter when our full court press caused turnovers and we brought the score back to a single point. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get back on the winning side of the scoreboard and lost our first game of the year in a close one, claiming the silver medal and the first GCS Intermediate Boys basketball medal ever. Mr. Wood and I were so impressed by each player's work ethic, attitude, and positive team encouragement through the year. Even if that included booing Jonathan Baglow for passing the ball away in Morel when they were all waiting for him to score his first basket of the year. All 15 players contributed to the team's success throughout the year, and we can't wait to see the skills and teamwork that this year's younger players will bring to the team next year. Earning provincial tournament all-stars were Jonathan Diagamier and Desmond Kniff. Our other awards are a Grit and Dedication Award to Lucas Nguyen, Top Defensive Player, Desmond Kniff, and MVP, Jonathan Diagamier.
Senior women's basketball, coached this year by Mr. Rancourt and Mrs. DeBoer. This basketball season was definitely a weird one due to COVID. A couple of shutdowns in the middle of the season had us wondering if we were going to be able to finish it at all. We played one game in December, and then the season was shut down until after Christmas. In the new year, things seemed to be running smoothly, but then another shutdown, which ended the regular season early and started the playoffs. Up until then, we had an up and down season with 3 wins and 4 losses. As the playoffs approached, we were set up to play École-sur-la-Mer in the first round, which we won handily. This put us into the semifinals of the A division, and we were going to face a team in Kensington that we had lost twice to in the regular season. We knew we would have to be at our best to come out with a victory, and our girls showed up to play. This game was the best game that we'd seen this group of girls play together. We came out hard, and often, to be honest, Mrs. DeBoer and Mr. Rancourt were a little shocked watching from the bench. Everything we had practiced came through in this game, and we walked away with a win and a chance to play for the provincial championship. What can we say about the championship game? My heart was racing. It was definitely an on-the-edge-of-your-seat game, a defensive battle. The girls fought to literally the last whistle with a 1-point victory. This team of amazing ladies earned every bit of this championship. For many of these girls, it was their 6 years of time and dedication to the love of basketball, dedication to being a team that plays for each other, a team that perseveres through injury, among other things. We are going to miss all the ones that are graduating this year. A note from Coach Rancourt. It has been an absolute pleasure to be part of something so special with you. You have poured your hearts into this school, and we will miss you, ladies. Thank you again, Mrs. DeBoer. You have poured so much time into this school and into these girls. It is amazing to coach with you and to have someone else pushing these girls to achieve their best. Your love for every one of them is evident, and you prove that by leaving your own family at times to pour your heart into them. Thank you so much for your time and dedication. What a memorable season. To finish it with a championship couldn't be any sweeter, but the one thing that I am so proud of, that no matter how the season went or the playoffs went, the character that you showed on and off the court was amazing. When you represented Grace Christian School, and even more importantly, Christ, you did it to your very best. You never gave up. Your never give up attitude and your work ethic and your willingness to listen and then put it into action. You always treated your opponents and referees with respect, and sometimes that was hard to do. That is great character, and if you continue this in life, it will definitely help you along the way. Congrats on a great season, and let's go repeat next year. Earning season all-stars were Brianna Rancourt, Anna Pocket, Christiane Riverall, and Robin Baglow. Earning provincial tournament all-stars was Anna Pocket. Earning provincial tournament MVP was Brianna Rancourt. Top defensive player, Anna Pocket. Leadership award, Robin Baglow. MVP, Brianna Rancourt.
Okay. Christy. Get Christy, come up.
Now, can the whole senior women's team and the coaches come to the stage for your provincial championship shirts and presentation of your provincial banner? Come on up, girls. All right, I am going to bring you out to here, Jennifer. I'm going to bring you this way, this way, this way, this way. You can go here, here, that way, that way, that way. Savannah, I want you to follow me. Afterwards, you're all going to stand on with the purple shirts on, and we're taking a picture with the banner and the purple shirts. After. Okay, after. Yeah, after. Yep.
Good. All right, we're not done yet. Intermediate boys flag football. The sport that is not over yet. Coached this year by Mr. Rancourt and Alexa Rancourt. This has been a very exciting sport to be a part of. Although this year's COVID requirements have restricted teams to 10 players, we had 14 boys want to play on the team, and we found a way to be able to allow everyone to be a member on the team and to get into games. In all the years that Mr. Rancourt has been coaching, this is the first time he has coached a boys team. And you could tell because in our first flag football game, he actually yelled out, "Let's go, girls!" I was quick to point that out, and the boys enjoyed that, laughing about it at least. The boys have been hardworking, and they never give up. That energy is brought to every game, and it's awesome to see. We've had a great season so far. We finished the regular season. We're in first place in the East, and we're undefeated at 10-0. We're excited for the playoffs. They start next week, and the chance to compete at a high level and hopefully go for another championship. Let's work hard for the rest of the year, boys, and work as a team above everything. Great teams accomplish great things when they're great teammates. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to the team. Enjoy the rest of the season and play hard. Our awards: top offensive player, Riley Bissett. Top defensive player, Jonathan Baglow. MVP, Desmond Kniff.
Track and field, coached this year by Mr. Wood. Although the track and field season was uncertain, up to 22 athletes came out to practice and train and prepare. Athletes were challenged to develop their technique to improve their personal bests. They were eager to learn new events such as triple jump, discus, and javelin. The year seemed promising. The athletes were making progress. Unfortunately, news came at the last minute that there would not be a PEI SAA season due to COVID restrictions. However, practices continued. The students continued to show up. Thankfully, we were able to have in-house elementary and junior high meets at UPEI. The elementary meet couldn't have gone any better. The only time it wasn't raining that day were the 3 hours we were at the track. While Arwen and Lawrence dominated the track, James and Derek showed some impressive performances in the field events. Lily and Brenly battled it out on the track as well as the events in the field, while Sky was unstoppable in nearly every event. We saw fantastic performances all around. Junior high meet also went well. Many athletes achieved personal bests in multiple events. There were some fierce competition, particularly among the bantam boys. Shock. A few shot put balls were even launched out of the throwing pit by Jonathan Baglow and Desmond. Thankfully, Sam did not sustain any injuries. Emily, Nora, and Kate battled for the top 3 spots in nearly every event. In the intermediate girls category, Beatrice and Karis fought for first place in the track events. Lily and Clara proved that they were a force to be reckoned with in the field events. It certainly was an entertaining competition. The Junior High Awards, Track All-Star, David Z. Bantam Male MVP, Riley Bissett. Bantam Female MVP, Nora Kniff. Intermediate MVP, Desmond Kniff. And intermediate female MVP, Karis Jelly. Push down a bit, guys. There you go.
Not turn around, Karis.
We have 2 senior high awards as well for leadership, Anna Pocket, and dedication, Ashley Chong.
I'll fix that. Senior sports medals. Senior sports medals are presented to graduating students in recognition of their participation in the Senior High GCS School Sports Program. So grade 12s, when I call your name, you can come up and find your medal on the table. For basketball, volleyball, and track and field, Robin Baglow. For cross country and track and field, Isaac Bork. For basketball, volleyball, track, and cheer, Emily Chong. For cheer and volleyball, Esther Eastwood. For track and field, Francesca Evans. For cross country and track and field, Sam Lowe. For volleyball and track and field, Marley McKinnon. For cross country, volleyball, basketball, cheer, and track, Anna Pocket. For basketball, Carol Wong. And for track and field, Hai Yang.
Put your medals on and face Mississippi. Your names are on the sticky. You can help other people out if you see something. Take the sticky off to take your picture. Help them out, guys. Yeah, we got it. Take the sticky off and turn around. Come this way a bit. Come this way, Marley. That's far enough, Marley. It's okay. Push over, Carol, and high. There you go. Don't hold each other.
Yep.
As you can see, GCS has once again had an incredible year in athletics. As you've heard repeatedly this afternoon, this isn't an easy accomplishment. Students' commitment was paramount as they learned dedication, teamwork, on top of personal athletic excellence. Coaches, team managers, and volunteers are vital to the success of the various programs and teams. Parents are also essential to the success in athletics at GCS, from driving athletes to practice or games to providing halftime snacks and nutrition. Athletes, as athletic directors, we would like to challenge you to remember the words of Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. All of the lessons that we have learned this year as part of athletic teams are useless unless we can transfer them into our Christian lives. It is important that as Christian athletes, we exemplify Christ in word and in deed, both on and off the court, field, and track. We are very excited and already planning for next year's athletics as we build on the successes of this year. Have a great summer, and please remember to stay active. Thank you very much.
You want to get the basketball team back up?
So